The Hadley Institute for the Blind and Visually Impaired presents iFocus, tips on using the vision accessibility features on the Apple Watch. In today's installment, we'll look at the Apple Watch Digital Crown. Hello, my name is Douglas Walker. Today, we will be exploring our Apple Watch Digital Crown. Now, our Digital Crown functions a lot like our home button on our iPhone, or our side button if we happen to own an iPhone 10. All right, we'll find our digital crown on the right-hand side of our watch towards the top of our watch face. Our digital crown looks a lot like the stem on a standard watch that we would use for adjusting our time. All right, so let's take a look at some of the different ways that we're able to use our digital crown. Okay, pressing our digital crown once is going to wake our Apple Watch, or if we happen to have an application open, it will close that application and take us right back to our watch's face. Now, if our watch is already awake and we press our digital crown, we'll be taken to our app home screen where we're going to find all of our Apple Watch apps. Now, this is a lot like the home screen on our iPhone or our iPad, only it's much smaller, of course. Anyway, all of our app icons are going to be presented to us, and we have the ability to left and right flick to find the app that we want to open. And just like our iPhone, once we find the app we want, we can simply just single finger double tap to open it up. So how about we take a look at how all of that works? We'll go ahead and we'll just press our digital crown once here, and we'll press our digital crown.
Clock.
Okay, we've been placed on our clock app, our home screen on our clock app here. And of course, activating our clock app will simply just take us back to our watch face. Now, it's important to know that we're currently in grid view, and we also have the ability for all of our applications to be listed alphabetically in a single list view. I tell you, for me, list view makes it so much easier to move through and to find the application I'm looking for. So let's check out how to change our grid view here to a list view. Now, we'll need to use our force touch in order to bring up our view options. So we'll just need to firmly press down here on our watch face. All right, so let's go ahead and try it. We'll just force touch, or simply press down firmly here on our watch face. And so we'll just force touch here.
World clock. Grid view button.
Great. VoiceOver announced that we've been placed on our grid view button here. Now, we only have two options here. Of course, we have our grid view button that we've currently been placed on here, and we have a list view button. So how about we just right click to our list view button, and we'll just right click here.
List view button.
All right, so here's our list view button. So we'll go ahead and just single finger double tap here, and we'll just double tap.
List view activity.
Okay, we're now in a list view of all of our apps, and we've been placed on our activity app right here at the very top of our app list. Remember, now all of our applications will be presented to us in alphabetical order here, which is really great. All right, now we can easily just right and left flick through all of our apps here. So how about we just right flick until we get to our settings app? Now it's going to be pretty far down the list, but we're going to go ahead and just check out quickly our home screen here. So we'll go ahead and we just right flick through our list here. We'll right click on down this, and we're just quickly going to right flick to settings here.
Camera.
And we can right click pretty quickly.
Find hard. Home.
A lot of apps here.
Keynote, mail, maps, message, music, news, phone, photo, pocket, radio, reminder, remote, settings, sports alerts.
We just passed it, so we'll left flick back to
settings.
Great, and of course here we are on our settings app. So how about we just single finger double tap, and we'll open up our watch settings here. So we'll just single finger double tap.
Settings. Time.
Yeah, and there you go. Our settings app has opened for us, and we're able to just right click through some of our watch's settings here, and we can do that right from within our watch. Now, If we want to close any open running application, all we need to do is press or tap our digital crown one time. So let's do it. We'll just press our digital crown here.
Reminders.
Okay, our settings app has closed and we've been placed right back in our app list view, our home view here again. Of course, if we press our digital crown again, we'll be placed right back on our watch face, and that's pretty great. All right, moving right along. I tell you, our digital crown really is packed full of so many functions, because if we press our digital crown twice, we'll be taken back to our last open application. And since our settings app was our last open application, we'll be taken right back to it. That really is a super handy shortcut for us there. And I tell you, it's one I use all the time. Okay, another really great digital crown function here is if we triple tap our digital crown, we'll toggle on or off the accessibility shortcut that we've set in our accessibility shortcut settings. So this is a great way for us to quickly toggle on and off VoiceOver or Zoom. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and triple tap our digital crown here. So we'll just triple press this.
VoiceOver off.
Great, and we heard now that VoiceOver is now off. Yeah, so it works just like our iPhone. It really is nice that all of our gestures and the way our buttons function have been kept so consistent between our iPhone and our Apple Watch. Okay, moving right along. But hey, first things first, it's probably a good idea that we turn VoiceOver back on for us here. So let's do it. We'll just triple click or triple press our crown here. So we'll triple press.
VoiceOver on. Radio.
All right, VoiceOver announced, of course, that it's back on, and we're back in action, right? This next digital crown function is the one that I probably use the most, and if we press and hold our digital crown, we activate, you guessed it, Siri, right? All right, so we love Siri. Well, most of the time we love Siri. I really like having access to Siri right here from my Apple Watch. I'm constantly using Siri to set up things like reminders, calendar events, timers, and I've even used Siri here to place a phone call from my Apple Watch. As you can tell, I am a huge Siri fan. Okay, I guess enough about my Siri crush here. Anyway, the last way that we're able to use our digital crown is to use what Apple calls crown navigation. Now, we'll need to turn on crown navigation by performing a 2-finger triple tap here on our watch face. So first we'll go ahead and turn on our crown navigation, and then we'll check out how it works. But first we'll need to wake up our screen here. So we'll go ahead and wake our screen.
Pocket tune.
So we'll just tap our screen 3 times with 2 fingers here to turn it on, and we'll just tap with 3 fingers.
Digital crown navigation on.
Great. Now that our crown navigation is turned on, we're able to simply just turn our digital crown to move through lists like we're in right now, or even the complications on our screen, instead of having to right or left flick. So how about we give it a try? Now, the easiest way to turn our digital crown is to just place our index finger on top of it and sort of roll it up and down. It really does have a really smooth action here. And I tell you, it's really easy to turn for us. Okay, so we have our digital crown navigation turned on. So how about we just use our digital crown navigation to move through our list that we're in right here. We're still in our app list here, so let's do it. We'll just slowly scroll down or move it towards us here.
Radio. Reminders. Remote. Settings.
And we can even move back to our watch face. So let's tap our digital crown to move back to our watch's face here.
Watch face. 10:32 a.m.
Great. Here we are on our watch face. So we can just move it up or down here. So I'll just scroll it down.
Rain. Feels like 40 degrees.
Weather.
Set timer.
It's our timer.
Moving. 100%.
Moving complication.
Now playing.
Now, crown navigation is really useful, especially when we need to move through a list of items, such as an email list or our settings list, or even when moving through the apps as we were in our home screen. Just remember that we're able to toggle off our crown navigation again by using our same 2-finger triple tap gesture there. Okay, so that pretty much covers all the functions of our digital crown. It really is nice how our digital crown functions so much like our iPhone's home button, or again, if we have an iPhone 10, our iPhone's side button. So Apple really has made it super easy to get quickly up and running with our Apple Watch. Again, my name is Douglas Walker. Take care, and I'll see you next time. For more from the iFocus series, including many other topics of interest to individuals with vision loss, visit the Videos at Hadley page on the Hadley Institute for the Blind and Visually Impaired website at www.hadley.edu.